Welcome back to Definitely Not Definitive. I'm Ken.
And I'm Bethany.
And we're just a wacky couple in love that love some Warframe.
We are wacky, that's true.
Yeah, we are. And so this is our second part of our character draft. We're drafting all the Warframe characters, and so I won the last round decidedly. I was amazing in my draft strategy. Everyone was talking about it. I mean, it was on all the forums and everything.
It was on all the forums? Oh, wow, baby. Oh, wow.
So we're gonna do part 2 now. The way we do this draft is we have little claim tickets here. And so whenever we want to take a character, we use a claim ticket, grab that character, and they're on our team. Now, if there's a character that someone else drafts on another team, like Bethany takes a character I really want, I can use my Trump claim ticket right here and steal it from her.
But then I can trump his trump,
which she
keep it.
Always does, which she always does.
I'm not as big at stealing as I am at retaining.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is rightfully mine.
Yeah, exactly. So there's that. If you want more of our Warframe reactions, go ahead and check out, if you missed part 1, obviously, go ahead and check that out as well. Down below in the description of this video, we got a playlist there for you to make it convenient and easy.
We do. We're all about the convenience.
Exactly. Okay, you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready to win. Ooh. Saryn.
Getting right into it.
This is Saryn, elusive and deadly. Incredibly infectious and toxic, it is nearly impossible to contain her destructive nature.
Yeah, okay.
Saryn possesses a horrifying mix of abilities that, when mastered, control the battlefield.
You continue your evil streak.
Spores grows venomous blobs on its target, damage over time. When shot, blobs explode and spread to nearby enemies.
Oh no!
Molt allows Saryn to leave behind a shell of her former self. Molt draws fire.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Deceives her enemies, explodes on deactivation.
So she's a
and
snake.
Damages nearby enemies with toxic effects.
Do snakes do that?
She's got venom. She sheds her skin.
Okay.
Toxic Lash adds incredibly poisonous traits to your melee attacks,
You're right.
transmitting disease and plague with each hit on the enemy, causing bonus damage. Miasma eats away at her enemies, disintegrating them over time with its corrosive effects.
Oh, she's awesome.
If under the influence of toxins or viruses,
Wow.
damage is increased. Combined with a Molt clone to even further amplify Miasma's power, Saryn is a
lethal.
deadly force on the battlefield.
Yeah.
Get down with this.
Very graceful, too.
now.
Get down.
Yeah, she's brutal.
He is the reason to fear the darkness, where his ethereal presence shakes loose
Yeah.
immortal coil.
I need a bad guy on my team. Fear the darkness.
This is Sevagoth,
Sevagoth.
the specter of death.
Yes.
Wreath
Okay.
releases Sevagoth's shadow to damn all those it touches, damaging enemies with death's harvest over time. The souls of the dead contribute to Sevagoth's death well.
Oh.
So, plants a death seed in nearby targets, siphoning their essence into Sevagoth's death well upon their expiration.
Oh, that's a cool.
What's been sown to expulse a percentage of their remaining
That's a cool game
health
mechanic.
into a deadly radial blast. Gloom casts a dreadful wave that permeates outward, slowing enemies within range, filling the death well with their life force the more he ensnares. And allies within its aura
Oh,
steal
baby, I don't
health
know.
with each attack.
What do you mean you don't know?
Together in eternity, draw upon the death well and tear the enemy asunder.
Who are you gonna steal it from me?
I'm thinking about it.
Embrace debilitates its target, pulling them within range of Shadow's deadly melee attacks for a short time.
It's badass.
Consume dashes the Shadow forward, vacating its target's soul from their
Yeah,
body,
I'm gonna do it.
healing itself
Okay,
with a
you're
percentage
gonna
of
steal
damage
it.
dealt.
Ooh, this is my first chance to trump a Trump.
Enemies around Shadow, causing them to take increased damage while the aura is active.
You have the bad guys on your team.
Sevagoth and his shadow to once again become whole. Do not seek death, Tenno, for Sevagoth may find you. Will you live to tell his tale?
Feels cool.
Trinity. Nice.
This is Trinity, the healer, the equalizer. Specializing in support, she can provide much-needed reinforcements in battle. Trinity's abilities focus on restoration and preservation rather than destruction. Well of Life highlights
But we like
the
destruction.
transfers health from its targets to Trinity or any ally who attacks it, providing restoration in the heat of battle. Energy Vampire radiates energy to nearby players
Alright.
every few seconds while causing damage to its target.
Every team needs a good healer.
Link reduces incoming damage away from Trinity and transfers it to nearby enemies at full strength.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Did you call for backup, Tenno? Blessing immediately restores the health and shields of all teammates regardless of their position.
Yeah, see,
with
she's
the
great
addition
support.
of temporary invulnerability. Trinity is a must for any high-stakes mission.
Yeah, if you go for that sort
She'll
of thing.
save your life, Tenno.
That's cool. Sevagoth. Yeah, the first two came out like gangbusters in this one. They were pretty badass. Ooh.
Okay.
This is Valkyr, the Tormented, the Experiment.
Ooh.
Forged in the labs of the Zaruka Project, she redirects her anger onto the battlefield. Valkyr's abilities are wild
Pure
and
rage.
untested,
Okay.
unleashing
You belong on my
chaos
team.
around her. Whipline sets forth a deadly yet useful hook. If it strikes an enemy, they are hurled towards her with fatal consequences. Otherwise, it can be used for utility and traversal.
Oh, nice.
Ooh.
Warcry intimidates and slows Valkyr's enemies, while simultaneously rallying her allies, increasing armor and melee swing speed. Paralysis emits a burst around Valkyr, depleting half of her available shields, while stunning and damaging nearby enemies based on the amount depleted. Don't keep your rage bottled up, Tenno. Hysteria causes Valkyr to unleash a relentless torrent of melee attacks against all nearby enemies, while giving her temporary invulnerability. However, a fraction of damage taken during this time will be reflected back onto Valkyr if any enemies remain.
Hysteria.
Valkyr was crafted from torment.
Surprised all the female Warframes don't have that ability, am I right?
My team can kick your team's ass. That's all I'm saying.
This is Volt, a
Okay.
versatile warrior. A master in tactics, he can be a shocking agent of death. Volt's abilities harness the raw and unpredictable power of electricity. Shock emits a bolt of intense chain lightning, stunning and potentially killing its target and nearby enemies. Speed energizes Volt and his nearby teammates, providing increased speed and dexterity for a limited time. Electric Shield deploys a wall of energy, providing cover in any situation. It also adds limited electrical damage to most outgoing projectiles that pass through the shield. A storm is coming, Tenno. Overload releases an intense energy field, destroying nearby electronics while channeling severe electrical damage to all enemies caught within its radius.
So he's a living EMP.
Yeah.
Volt's arsenal is powerful and electrifying. Handle with care, Tenno.
Alright, he gets an undrafted column right now. He was cool, but it's like nothing like really drew me to him.
He's not evil enough for my team.
This is Wukong, the
Okay.
enduring, the swift. With the heart of a trickster, he is an unrestrained primal warrior.
Yeah.
Wukong's
Down with
abilities
that.
reflect his stealthy and extremely deadly nature. Iron Jab pokes an enemy with his staff, causing its target to keel over while also knocking down enemies within a radius. If Wukong falls in battle while active, Defy restores a percentage of his health and provides him temporary invulnerability.
Oh, cool.
Each
That's
subsequent
cool.
Death reduces the restored health while also trimming down his energy total.
Refuses to die.
Cloud Walker engulfs Wukong in a cloud of smoke, stunning nearby enemies and allowing him to move freely on the battlefield, draining energy based on distance traveled. Speak softly and carry a big stick, Tenno. Equips Wukong's bow staff, imposing incredibly deadly melee attacks. With each subsequent hit, the staff grows, causing greater damage.
Yeah,
Everybody's
Wukong's
got
cool.
something to hide, Tenno. Except Wukong.
All right. Dig it.
She is the one to give hope to the hopeless, defeating her enemies with a necrotic grace.
Oh,
Wow.
sweet. Necrotic grace.
This is Ureli, the selfless,
Huh.
the Wave Rider.
Yeah, Wave Rider. I'm down with that.
Sea Snares sets a deceptively friendly trap for unsuspecting enemies, holding them in place while dealing increasing damage over
Oh,
time.
wow.
Huh.
If enemies are already within range when Ureli sets her snare, the bubbles will hone in on her prey. Catch a wave with Marulina, Ureli's very own elemental board, and the inspiration for K-driving. While riding, a percentage of incoming damage will be diverted away from Ureli toward Marulina.
She's fun.
She is.
Aqua Blades emits high-speed protective cyclones around Ureli. Enemies that foolishly attempt to break through this barrier become staggered and take damage. It's the current that'll get you, Tenno. Riptide conjures a captivating jet of water that draws in her enemies,
Oh, wow.
ragdolling and holding them in place. Upon deactivation, enemies are launched outward, taking increasingly lethal damage based on the amount of enemies caught within. Ureli fights for those
little
who need it
hearts.
most, and strikes fear into those who oppress. Do you dream of water, Tenno?
She's cool.
Yeah, she's too good for your team. She likes to help people. You're evil people. Zephyr.
This is Zephyr. Light, yet deceivingly lethal. Adept in mobility, she rarely keeps her feet on the ground. Zephyr's abilities set her into flight, causing mayhem in the process. Tailwind creates a blast of energy, propelling Zephyr through the air, damaging anything in her wake. Dive Bomb sets Zephyr into a nosedive towards the ground, creating an explosion on impact that damages and stuns enemies within its radius. Turbulence creates a shield of wind, deflecting incoming projectiles away from Zephyr. You're not in Terminus anymore, Tenno. Tornado forms deadly twisters
That's pretty
around
cool.
nearby enemies, causing damage to all caught within. These funnel clouds can also be
Yeah, okay.
modified by elements
The tornado's gotcha.
to wreak
Yeah.
even more havoc. Zephyr brings graceful destruction to the battlefield. Look up, Tenno.
Wouldn't minded her, but like I was willing to let her go to the unclaimed spot.
This is Khora and her deadly beast Venari.
Yep, okay.
Bladed precision. She is a mistress.
She's got a puppy.
Yep.
Whipclaw strikes fast towards her enemies, cracking the whip with a deadly disorienting hit that damages those in its area. Ensnare surrounds and binds her target in living metal, causing them to stop dead in their tracks.
Cool.
Entangling any other foes who stray too close, her trap can be dispersed with another crack of the whip. Venari summons a ferocious gleaming Kavat with 3 cycled abilities.
Kavat.
Attack directs the Venari toward an enemy, causing damage over time, more so if they're ensnared. Protect causes the Venari to knock down and disarm a target in range that is causing damage to Khora or the Venari itself. Heal sends the Venari to the ally with the lowest health, providing them with a healing aura.
Oh, that's nice.
Death is listening, Tenno. Weave her whip into a strangle dome of living chain.
Oh.
Oh, that's an awesome ability and the cool name.
Don't get caught on the wrong end of a whip crack of Khora's steel.
Strangle
It may
dome.
be the last thing you hear. This is Baruch, the reluctant warrior.
I don't want a reluctant
Following the
warrior.
path that winds between peace and hate, he maintains restraint before unleashing the storm within.
Got like some dance moves.
Dodges incoming gunfire and melee attacks while Baruch is not on offense, wearing down his restraint with each attack dodged. Lull emits a calming wave that slows enemies until they fall into a slumber. Enemies woken by damage will be confused and disoriented, forgetting anything that happened before the lull. Desolate Hands surrounds Baruch with protective daggers that seek out enemy weapons, disarming them. Each successful disarm erodes his restraint. In the absence of enemies, the daggers will jump to nearby allies, granting them the ability to disarm an enemy. If Elude is active, the seeking range is doubled. Try not to lose your head, Tenno. Serene Storm unleashes Baruch's command of the desert wind.
All right, there you go. Finally,
delivering
some like
powerful
offense.
melee attacks that disarm and ragdoll his enemies. With combos offering a variety of area-based push and pull effects.
pretty cool.
Each moment commanding the storm restores his restraint. War is the enemy that lies deep within Baruch. But can you make it your ally, Tenno?
I'm not sure. He's going to the undrafted pile for right now.
He's too Miyagi-Do. My team is Cobra Kai.
This is Gera, the deadly warrior.
Okay.
Manipulator of glass, she fractures the resolve of her enemies.
All right. Fracture the
Shattered
resolve.
Lash thrusts forward a deadly glass blade, damaging any in its path. Or hold to sweep the blade around an area in front of you. Splinter Storm surrounds her target with swirling shards of glass, pushing away enemies and damaging them, or protecting her allies with a damage reduction.
I like her ability.
Spectro Rage creates a ring of mirrors around a target area, causing enemies within it to attack and break them, inflicting damage to themselves. When enough mirrors are destroyed, the ring collapses, damaging all enemies within. Break on through, Tenno. Mass Vitrify expands outwards, coating all enemies it passes, slowing them over time until completely frozen, blocking enemies and weapons fire. Hitting the ring with Shattered Lash will cause it to break and deal damage outwards. The shattered remains of her enemies are all that Gera leaves behind. Tread lightly.
Shatter remains of her enemies. Yeah. Just kidding.
This is Garuda, the Gore Queen. Cleansed by the blood of her enemies,
Yeah, okay.
she draws strength from vulnerability. Dread Mirror lunges Garuda toward her enemy, ripping out their life force, converting it into a shield that captures incoming damage. When released,
Neat.
she launches a bloody projectile containing all absorbed damage that explodes on contact.
Wow.
Blood Altar impales an enemy on an altar of talons, which siphons health for Garuda and her allies within its radius.
She's like Warhammer inspired.
She's
so graceful, like she dances when she spears them.
Additional energy. Rain red on the battlefield, Tenno. Seeking Talons charges up to release a torrent of bone blades towards visible enemies, staggering them in pain while also making them prone to bleeding. Additionally, in the absence of an equipped melee weapon, Garuda's talons can be used to slice her way through her enemies. When you understand the nature of Garuda, you'll know what she's capable of.
Oh.
Yeah.
I almost took her. I almost used my trump on that one. She was pretty cool.
Charging his abilities with every step, he's streamlined for speed.
It's Flash.
This is Gauss, the runner, the rapid. Mach Rush thrusts Gauss forward in a short sprint burst or sustained rush, charging his battery and knocking out enemies as he passes. Crashing into solid objects releases a shockwave of kinetic energy.
Oh, painful.
Kinetic plating absorbs physical, heat, cold, and blast damage, preventing both knockdown and stagger effects. While it depletes Gauss's battery, it returns energy based on the damage absorbed. Thermal Sunder siphons kinetic energy from the area, charging the battery while emitting a radial cold status. Reversing this process drains the battery and inflicts heat status on those caught in its wake. Overlap these elements to dispense a deadly blast radius. Take it to the limit,
It's your
Tenno.
last one.
Red line. Increases Gauss's fire and reload rate, melee and holster speeds based on battery level. Supercharging his battery above the red line will release damaging bolts of arcing electricity. Upon deactivation, excess energy gets released in an explosive
that's
kinetic
cool.
burst. If the battle seems out of control, Tenno, you're not going fast enough.
All right. Gauss goes up.
Feasting on enemies like his own personal buffet.
Oh!
His hunger for battle is primal. This is Grendel, the Devourer, the insatiable.
The sumo wrestler.
Feast.
Grendel?
Swallows an enemy whole and stores it in Grendel's gut.
Oh my god.
The more enemies held, the more energy consumed. Had
Wow.
enough. Evacuate the contents contained within with deadly effect. Nourish consumes the first stored enemy, providing a radial buff to Grendel and nearby allies. Regurgitate violently expels a bile-soaked enemy from Grendel's gut, turning the unfortunate creature into a toxic projectile. Revenge is like a rolling stone, Tenno. Pulverize, curls Grendel into a rolling ball, violently
Fun.
knocking back enemies in his path. Jumping and impacting the ground, clears the immediate area with a damaging burst. Dinner is best served with a side of mayhem. Bon appetit, Tenno.
Yeah. Dinner's best served with a side of mayhem.
This is Harrow, the monastic, the ritualist. Dedicated to the void, he harnesses its awesome power. Condemn brings forth a wave of energy that chains enemies in place while bolstering Harrow's shields. Penance sacrifices shields, providing health regeneration based on a percentage of damage dealt by Harrow, while also increasing his fire and reload rates.
He's got a lot going on.
Thurible provides bursts of energy to Harrow and allies within range every time he gets a kill, amplified more so for headshots. The longer it's active, the higher the energy given. Covenant protects allies within range from all damage and status effects for a short period. Once ended, all protected allies gain additional critical chance relative to the amount of damage absorbed. Harrow is suffragette.
If I know anything about games, critical chance is always a good thing to have. So I'm gonna take Harrow. I don't think I understood all of his abilities, but
Drawing from her shields like a battery, her defensive and offensive utility is unparalleled. This is HIldryn, the domina of armament. Balefire launches devastating, chargeable bolts of fire. The longer the charge, the more deadly the result. But as with all of her abilities, at the sacrifice of her shields. Shield Pillage emits a thieving wave of energy
Offense for
that
defense.
strips shields and armor from nearby enemies.
For defense for offense.
Upon its return, HIldryn is granted shields based on the amount stolen. Toggle this ability to instantly return any collected shields in the heat of battle. Haven redirects HIldryn's shields onto her allies, offering additional protection that also decreases shield recharge time. Any enemies who veer too close will suffer damage, more so if overshields are present. It's fight and flight, Tenno. Aegis Storm activates HIldryn's thrusters, allowing her to hover above her enemies, suspending enemies caught in the wake below.
Oh, that's
damaging them
cool.
over time. Paired with the destructive effects of Balefire, she becomes an airborne menace. In the sky or on the ground,
Oh, that weapon!
HIldryn fills her victims full of dread.
Looks like the Ghostbuster gun.
yeah, but like supercharged.
This is Hydroid, a deadly marauder from the deep.
It's got like a kraken.
Master of the aquatic, he surprises his enemies at every turn. Tempest Barrage calls down a chargeable torrent of liquid fury, knocking down enemies in the target area. tidal
Liquid
surge
fury.
sets Hydroid forth in an unstoppable wall of water that sweeps up any enemies in his way. Undertow casts Hydroid into a movable water trap that allows him to pull in his enemies with deadly tentacles,
That's
causing
cool.
them to slowly drown while submerged. From 20,000 leagues below, Tentacle Swarm summons a creature from the deep, violently wreaking havoc on his enemies, with a greater range and number of tentacles the longer it is charged. Whether the sea or the stars, Tenno, Hydroid takes a foreboding command of the battlefield.
His tentacle one was awesome. That was a really cool ability. Seemed really powerful too. You can charge it up a lot.
This is Nidus, the adaptive, the scourge. He mutates like an epidemic sweeping through the battlefield. Virulence ruptures forth a wave of infestation. With each enemy afflicted, your infestation begins to stack and mutate. Saving stacked mutations will multiply its destructive force while refunding a portion of its casting cost. Larva spawns an infested pod that erupts with tendrils, latching onto nearby enemies and holding them down. Parasitic Link creates a temporary symbiosis with your target. With allies, you both get a boost of strength and deal increased damage, whereas enemies will receive a percentage of damage inflicted upon Nidus. Put a pox upon their house, Tenno. Ravenous sets forth gluttonous maggots that swarm nearby enemies, feasting until they burst with infestation. The maggots benefit from mutation, and each enemy consumed adds to the mutation stack. Nidus,
It's like he like controls the flood.
There is no
floof.
cure. You must control the strange disease. This is Oberon, the mystic, the willful.
Oberon.
Commanding the natural world, he protects his allies and obliterates his foes. Smite bathes its target with radiation while also forming roaming projectiles attracted to nearby enemies, damaging any they contact. Hallowed ground blankets the ground around Oberon, and any enemies that step within it will submit to damage over time. Renewal emits a growing wave of healing energy for your allies, giving slow health regeneration over time once it passes them. Combined with Hallowed Ground, and allies also receive an armor buff. Reckoning lifts nearby enemies up and slams them to the ground. Any foes that witness, but are not affected by Reckoning, will become temporarily blinded. Oberon is an adept and honorable warrior, Tenno. Are you?
Clearly not, because we didn't draft him.
Armed for deadly encounters, she is tactical and timely. This is Protea, the protector, the enforcer. Grenade Fan offers offensive and defensive capability.
Spin it like a basketball.
Activate to throw a shrapnel vortex, damaging and staggering nearby enemies. Hold to emit shield satellites that protect her, her allies, and companions, restoring a large amount of shields while increasing their regeneration rate. Blaze Artillery places a temporary rapid-fire turret that blasts plasma charges at any
Oh,
enemy
okay.
faces.
The turret got me.
Each successful hit increases its overall damage, piercing through to hit multiple foes with a single blast. Dispensary deploys a cycling supply cache that can generate health, ammo, and energy pickups every few seconds. Always have an escape plan, Tenno. Temporal Anchor records Protea's state upon activation. Any damage dealt is recorded, and a percentage is emitted outward in a temporal implosion upon deactivation, rewinding Protea back to the activation point, restoring all ammo, energy, shields, and health to the anchored state.
That's convenient.
Down while active, Protea will uncontrollably rewind, and any stored damage benefits will not be realized. Protea is the method to the madness. When you face her, it's already too late.
Okay.
Yeah, method to madness. It's like me, there's a method to my madness.
This is Revenant, the returned, the condemned. Harnessing the essence of Eidolon and warrior alike, he mystifies and obliterates his foes. Enthrall converts its target into a zealous thrall, causing them to turn on their allies and spread the affliction. When a thrall dies, they disintegrate into a damaging pillar of energy. Mesmer Skin envelops Revenant in sentient energy, redirecting incoming damage and stunning all those who dare attack him, allowing them to be enthralled at no energy cost. Reeve transforms Revenant into a wall of deadly sentient mist, leeching health and shields from any enemies it contacts. Even more for thralls. Bewitch your enemies in the moonlight, Tenno. Dance Macabre focuses the power of the Eidolon and any incoming damage into an eruption of energy beams, sweeping a circle of death outward around Revenant. Any thralls that succumb to these beams will leave overshield pickups for Revenant and his allies. Revenant serves last rites for the souls he leaves on fire, without a plea for mercy.
Okay.
This is Titania, the pixie, the unseen. With deadly grace, she slices her way through the battlefield.
Little butterflies.
Spellbind explodes outward, causing enemies to fumble their weapons as they are whisked into the air, giving nearby allies temporary immunity to status effects. Tribute extracts and suspends the soul of an enemy in midair. Upon touching the soul, one of 4 stackable ability buffs will be activated. Razor flies in the sky, Tenno. Lantern transforms an enemy into an irresistible floating beacon. Like moths to a flame, Titania's razorflies surround the target, damaging all who come near until eventually exploding. Knocking down or killing nearby enemies. Go and fly twice as high. Razor Wing transforms Titania into a small but deadly sprite. Her razor flies
it's like the wasp! I'll take that.
While inflicting incredible damage to their targets. Titania is a deadly and mischievous addition to any squad. But don't take my word for it, Tenno. Invisible in the air and swift on the ground, she moves like the wind. This is
Swayze.
Summoner of the Ethereal. Reservoirs call forth pods from another dimension at Wisp's location, containing motes that can be plucked to provide aid to her and her allies. Vitality Mote increases maximum health and restores health. Haste Mote benefits movement and attack speed. Shock Mote charges and releases a paralyzing bolt of electricity, stunning those it touches. Will-O-Wisp casts forth a spectral copy of Wisp, which draws the attention and fire of her enemies for a limited time. Activating this ability again before time runs out will teleport Wisp to its location. Breach Surge opens a dimensional breach around Wisp, overwhelming enemies that cross it for a short time. When an enemy takes damage, deadly foe-seeking surge sparks may launch outwards, dealing damage proportional to the damage received. Do you worship the sun, Tenno? Soulgate opens a portal to the Daystar, creating a devastating flame of solar plasma that causes massive heat.
That's different. All right, there you go. That got me.
Her grace is balanced only by her
The Soul Blast.
Do not get lost in its wake.
Harnessing the power of the sun.
Forged from the remnants of lost Warframes, they channel the spirits of the void. This is Xaku, the fragmented, the restored.
It's a day.
Whisper imbues their weapons with void energy, dealing a percentage of additional damage for a limited time. Grasp of Lock disarms nearby enemies and surrounds Xaku with their armaments, turning their weapons against them while firing deadly void beams.
Okay.
The Lost channels void energy into 3 sub-abilities. Accuse corrupts a number of nearby enemies, causing them to briefly fight alongside Xaku. Gaze temporarily tethers its target in place, while any enemies who come close will have their defenses loose. Deny fires a void beam that immediately puts enemies struck into stasis, dealing damage while resetting sentient damage resistance. We are always in repair, Tenno. The vast Untime violently erupts the armor plating off of Xaku in a burst of void energy,
Oh, it's naked.
exposing their skeleton and allowing for faster movement while making them harder to hit. All enemies caught within its blast will be slowed and weakened by void damage. In the concert of mayhem, Xaku is a law unto themselves, Tenno.
Alright.
A twisted hybrid of Warframe and sentient, he is raised in the wreckage of the old war. This is Caliban, the survivor, the adaptive. Razor Gyre casts Caliban forth as a spinning vortex of death, damaging enemies who come near. Build up speed without a target.
Alright, spinning vortex of death.
Launch
Sold.
Caliban towards a foe, dealing additional impact damage. Sentient wrath stomps the ground, sending out a tide of energy that seeks out enemies. As each wave passes, they are launched into the air for a limited time, taking additional damage. Lethal Progeny deploys up to 3 Conculus servants that attack nearby enemies.
Yeah, I like when they summon things. Summoning's cool.
Not in combat. With the flicker of a piercing eye, Fusion Strike emits 3 concentrated beams of sentient energy that sweep the battlefield to converge to a single point, causing damage to any enemies it touches. Upon their convergence, a large
wide range.
blast damages those in the area, temporarily reducing the armor of all enemies caught within. Once a weapon consigned by Era after the Old War, Caliban is yours to sow vengeance in the new.
None of them truly understands how much I lost when I lost her. Nor by what subtle art my dead love now lives within another's gleaming skull. So tonight, we shall celebrate in her honor and mine. I shall unveil a new creation, a harmony of mistress and monster.
Yeah. I mean, another one with like a death puppy. Yeah.
And this is where my trunk comes in.
Damn it! Damn it!
An apex predator. A deathless
Can't have all the puppies.
companion.
Why not?
Unsurpassed. Blood raw in whip, claw, and fang.
Oh, this is her Prime trailer. Okay, I think you already have Khora. Hang on.
Yeah.
You do have Khora. Okay, so that was just a Prime trailer, so you already have Khora, so it's fine. So it was okay because my strategy was to like, since I had a trump card, you know, there were a couple times where I was thinking about using it, but then like, it was nice knowing that I always had it, so there was a super cool character, I could have gotten it, and like, Khora was one of those characters that I kind of wanted to grab a while ago, but I was too late, and the moment had passed. Who are the two that you want?
Oberon and Gus, or Gauss, or whatever his name is.
That was the one that was like, Gauss was the fast one?
I think he was the Flash, yeah.
Gauss was the Flash. Okay, I mean, that makes more sense. You should definitely have the Flash. And Oberon, yeah.
He's the Mystic.
Yeah, the Mystic one. Okay, that's fine. Baruch and Volt. Yeah. All right, I'm down with that. I can take Baruch and Volt and you get Oberon. Yeah, all right. So we got our teams. Look down below in the description of this video for our full teams, for the full draft. We'll have our roster on there, and let us know who you thought drafted the best team. Or maybe your favorite character. You can, however you want to decide. But what do you think about these?
I said this the last time we played Warframe, but I'm so impressed by the creativity and the uniqueness of every single character, what their powers are. I love how they latch on to a theme or a concept, and then they find just really inventive ways to have weapons based on that.
Yeah.
I was thinking of, and I can't remember which one of it was. It was one of the water ones, but just like, I think one was like tidal wave and undertow. And I mean, they really found a lot of creative ways to express these characters, which is awesome.
Yeah, I think my favorite character that I on my team was the one that was like had basically the hoverboard or whatever.
Oh yeah, she's cool.
I thought she was really cool, and I thought that was a cool design. And there was another one that had there's another one that had a cool design that I said at the time it was like a cool game mechanic or whatever. Any favorites on your team?
I mean, Sevagoth, the one I used my trump card for.
Yeah.
He's pretty impressive. And lethal.
Yeah.
So I liked that one. I liked Saryn too, the first one I got. Like my first two out of the gate seemed very devastating.
Yeah, they were very impressive, the first two out of the gate, and the rest of them was like, man, I was like, Warframe took like an evil turn here now. Like all of them are kind of going to be these like darker characters, and then not so much right after that. But yeah, those first two were very impressive. Agreed. Little jealous of your draft. You went more my style for this draft than normal.
We did have a bit of a role reversal.
Yeah.
I usually choose the Miyagi-Do style of characters. For those familiar with Cobra Kai, you usually choose Eagle Fang or possibly Cobra Kai.
I had a couple of evil people in there though. I had the one person that like would swallow people in his gut or whatever, and the sumo wrestler that was like also part of the Nurgle clan from Warhammer. Yeah, it was awesome. He turns into a little rolling ball of death.
And the toxic spew that when he expels his.
Exactly. Another one that was basically like just like a plague or whatever that had like the what was it? That like would the little bugs or whatever that would like climb all over
razor
people.
flies or
something.
something.
Something like that. That was another kind of evil character that I had chosen. So you have to let us know what you thought about this down below in the comments and some of your favorite trailers that we checked out from these Warframe character profiles. And yeah, if you want more Warframe, we got a playlist down below in the description of this video. You should go ahead and check that out.
You should.
Thanks so much for checking out our draft for Warframe. This is part 2, but just keep in mind
that our reaction and our draft is definitely not definitive.